was the exam? Easy to moderate. Okay, I also felt the same. It's almost easy to moderate most of the questions. From the geography part was, I think it was much easier. So we'll see how was the question. And before starting the discussion, let me remind you, the self-evaluation is one of the most important factor while you are doing a prelims test series. Okay, you might be getting n number of questions right, you might be getting n number of questions wrong. It's very important that you go through each and every question and to understand how did you make that question right, how or what went wrong for a wrong answer. There may be several reasons for your mistake. It may be due to lack of content, lack of clarity, or misinterpretation of the question. Whatever be the reason, please do understand why or how the question went wrong and also how the question went right. Please note down all your mistakes and make sure that you are not going to repeat it. Then only your marks will progress. Then only you will be having the maximum efficiency from the test series. Okay, so we'll start from the first question. Consider the following statements with respect to winter solstice. The sun's rays fall vertically at the top of Tropic of Cancer. It is summer in the southern hemisphere and with longer days and shorter nights. So the question is regarding winter solstice and it is related to the revolution of Earth. We have studied about the winter solstice, and winter solstice is when the sun ray is falling vertically over Tropic of Capricorn. Okay, like you know the Earth, we have the Tropic of Cancer, we have the Tropic of Capricorn. When the sun rays is falling directly over the Tropic of Capricorn, we call it as the winter solstice. So the first statement is wrong. Second statement says that it is summer in southern hemisphere with longer days and shorter nights. When we usually say summer solstice, winter solstice, we are considering the northern hemisphere. Okay, if it is not said as southern hemisphere, normally we consider it as the northern hemisphere. So if it is winter solstice in northern hemisphere means winter in northern hemisphere. So of course it is going to be summer in southern hemisphere, which makes the second statement right. So the answer is B, 2 only. Okay. Second question. Consider the following statements. Straits form linkages between land masses. Panama Canal is built over the Strait of Panama. Straits are important for global trade. If you see the question, if you go to the third statement is quite general statement. Straits are important for global trade. Of course it is going to be. And if you go through the options, 3 is in every option. So you need not worry about 3. Reading the first statement, straits form linkages between land masses. What is a strait? Strait is a navigable water channel separating two land bodies connecting two seas. So here it is forming linkages between two land masses. No, it is connecting or it is forming linkages between two water bodies, which makes the first statement wrong. Second statement, Panama Canal is built over the Strait of Panama. Panama is an artificial canal. Okay, we built to the isthmus. What is isthmus? Narrow line. It's like the land, it's like the terrestrial version of the strait, connecting two landmass. If a particular landmass is connecting two different large landmasses, we call it as isthmus. And what is the difference between a gulf and a bay? Gulf and bay, both are marginal water bodies, both are surrounded by land masses. If it is having a narrow opening to the sea, we call it as gulf. If it is having a much wider opening, we call it as bay. Okay, so have an idea regarding the differences between gulf, bay, strait and isthmus. So the third statement is of course wrong. Third statement is right, first and 2 is wrong. So the answer is C, 3 only. Third question, match the following. Okay, this type of question was introduced from the last year, 2021 prelims. Okay, they are giving 1 pair, 2 pair, 3 pair. It makes the elimination technique much more difficult. So on the zone side, we have given crust, oceanic crust, core, inner core. On feature side, you are given uppermost layer over the Earth's surface. It is called seal, it is called knife, liquid in nature. And the question is regarding which of them are not correctly matched or incorrectly matched. Inner core, is it liquid in nature? Inner core is solid, outer core is liquid. So 4 is not correctly matched. Core, is it called as knife? Core is called as knife. So that is correctly matched. So All four pairs, the option all four pairs can be eliminated. Ocean crust, is it called as Sial? Ocean crust is known as Sima, S-I-M-A, Sima. So 2 is also not correctly matched. Crust, uppermost layer of the surface of Earth. Of course, you must be knowing it is the uppermost layer. So 2 and 4 are incorrectly matched. 1 and 3 are correctly matched. So answer is 2. Yes. Of the Earth's surface, mostly it might be a grammatic mistake. Okay, I will let them know. Okay, it's basically on this or uppermost layer of the Earth. That's the meaning. Okay. Over the Earth's surface makes. Okay. Okay, we'll go to the fourth question. With reference to igneous rocks in India, consider the following statement. The rocks are formed by broken down small fragments of the rock, which are transported and deposited by wind, water, etc. They are also called primary rocks. What are igneous rocks? Rocks formed by the cooling and solidification of lava. What does the first statement say? Broken down small fragments of the rock which are transported and deposited by wind, water, etc. Yeah, that corresponds to sedimentary rocks, not igneous rocks, which makes the first statement wrong. Igneous rocks, are they called as primary rocks? Of course, they are called as primary rocks because they are one of the first landforms that formed on Earth. They are also called as primary rocks. So first statement is wrong, second is correct. Answer is B2 only. Fifth question, consider the following statement. Tropical evergreen forest or thick forests occur near the equator and close to tropics. West and southwestern margin of continents have temperate deciduous forest. In tundra region, growth of natural vegetation is very limited. Trees like rosewood, ebony, mahogany are common in tropical evergreen forest. Easy question. Where can we see tropical evergreen forest? Nearby equator, nearby tropic, where the temperature is high and also rainfall is also high. So first statement is right. You can eliminate option B. The west and southwest margin of continents have temperate deciduous forest. What do we have on the west and southwestern portion? If you draw the climatic grid, here we have the hot, wet equatorial climate. We are asked about the western margin. Here we have the desert. Here we have the Mediterranean. Here we have the British. And over there we have the polar. So we are asked about the western and southwestern margin. We have Mediterranean and desert. We are not having temperate deciduous. So which makes the second statement wrong. In tundra region, growth of natural vegetation is very limited. Of course, due to the low temperature or absence of heat. Trees like rosewood, ebony, mahogany are common tropical evergreen. That's also right. So answers 1, 3 and 4. If you could eliminate 2, so if you can eliminate 2, like you will be stuck between B and C. B we have already eliminated after reading the first option. So the answer is C, 1, 3 and 4. Yes? Okay. Earth's interior can be studied indirectly from which of the following sources? Meteor study, rock mining, analysis of body waves, ocean drilling project. So here in the question, the most important term is indirectly. Okay, regarding the sources of information of Earth's interior, we have classified the sources into direct sources and indirect sources. Direct sources include rocks from mining area and volcanic outputs are the direct sources. Indirect sources include seismic waves, meteors, then gravitational anomaly, all such things. So here the question is regarding indirect. Okay, we are not getting a physical object directly. That is what we meant by indirect source. So meteors, rock mining, analysis of body waves, ocean drilling. Out of this, meteors and body waves are indirect sources. Rock mining and ocean drilling project are direct sources. So answers 1 and 3, C. Almost all these questions are direct questions. If you have gone through the NCERT, if you have gone through the class notes also, it will be much easier. Question number 7. Consider the following statement regarding body waves. Velocity of body waves are constant across the various layers of Earth's interior. These waves are generated due to the release of energy at the epicenter. Which of the above statements is or are not correct? The point where the earthquake originate is known as, it is known as the focus, seismic focus or hypocenter. Then what is epicenter? It is the points flying above or on the surface of Earth, which is close to the focus. So the second statement is anyway wrong. First statement, velocity of body waves are constant across various layers of Earth's interior. No. Within the body waves, we know that we have primary waves and secondary waves. Primary waves travel through solid, liquid and all mediums. Secondary waves can travel only through solid mediums. Primary waves, when it moves from one medium to another, there will be change in velocity. So, the velocity of body waves are not constant across various layers of Earth's interior. You might have studied about the concept of shadow zone, which is representing this particular principle. So, both the statements are wrong. So, the answer is C, both 1 and 2. Okay. 8. Consider the following statements with reference to convectional current theory. Alfred Wegener, a German meteorologist, proposed this concept. It studies the existence of convection currents in the inner core region. On the basis of this theory, scientists discarded the continental drift theory. Okay, regarding geomorphology, we have majorly 3 theories for our GS paper: continental drift theory, plate tectonic theory, and seafloor spreading theory. Alfred Wegener, he proposed which theory? He proposed the continental drift theory, in which he said that there was a single supercontinent called Pangaea, single superocean called Panthalassa, which started to split and drift away to form the 7 continents of today. And his reasons or the causes of the drift was gravity, tidal forces, etc. But later there was a lot of drawbacks or criticism was put forward against this continental drift theory. Then came the convectional current theory, which says that within the Earth's interior, we have a semi-solid layer or a ductile layer called as asthenosphere, which is lying in the upper mantle. And the plates are freely floating over this asthenosphere. So within the asthenosphere, whenever we have change in temperature or pressure, there will be movement, which is called as the convectional current. So convectional current theory came after continental drift theory. So Wegener was not the one, it was proposed by Arthur Holmes. Arthur Holmes proposed this concept. So first statement is wrong. So answer is either C or D. And it studies the existence of convectional currents in inner core region. Inner core is solid. Where do we have this convectional currents? Upper mantle or the asthenosphere. So the second statement is also wrong. So the answer is going to be C, 3 only. On the basis of this theory, scientists discarded the continental drift theory. So these theories, modern theories, including convectional current theory, seafloor spreading theory, and plate tectonic theory, was used as a tool to criticize the continental drift theory. Next question. Consider the following statements regarding plate boundaries. Divergent boundaries where new crust is generated as the plate pull away from each other. Mid-Atlantic ridge is a convergent plate boundary. Transform boundary where the crust is neither created nor destroyed. If you know the concept or how a mid-Atlantic ridge is formed, you can see the first statement and second statement are contradicting each other. If 2 contradicting statements are there, mostly either one of them will be correct. Okay, you can't have both of them correct if they are contradicting. How mid-Atlantic ridges are formed? Divergence of 2 oceanic plate. When 2 oceanic plate diverge from the asthenosphere, we have the ejection of magma. This magma comes to the seafloor. It starts to cool down and solidify to form a new landform called as submarine ridges or mid-Atlantic ridges. Submarine ridges and mid-Atlantic ridges formed as a result of this divergence in the mid-Atlantic Ocean region. Divergent boundaries where new crust is created as the plate pull away from each other. That's what happens. So first statement is right. Transform boundary where the crust is neither created nor destroyed. Regarding the interaction of plates, we have studied regarding 3 types of interaction. One is convergence, other is divergence, 3 is transform. Convergence means when the plates are coming towards each other, one plate subducts below the another. So we have a destruction of plate or landmass happening. So we call it as a destructive edge. In divergence, when the plates are moving away from each other, new landmass is being created. So we call it as constructive edge. Transform is when 2 plates slide past each other. There is no convergence, no divergence. So there is no construction, no destruction, only deformation. So third statement is also right. Transform boundaries where the crust is neither created nor destroyed. So answer is C, 1 and 3. Okay. Speed now. Okay. 10th question is again an easy question. Which of the following actions is not an exogenic force? What is endogenic? What is exogenic? When a new landform forms, if the force is from the interior of Earth, we call it as endogenic. For example, mountain building, earthquake, volcanism. If it is to the surface of Earth, we call it as exogenic. For example, deltas, which are formed by the forces like rivers, wind, etc. So here, weathering, mass wasting, deposition, all are formed by the exogenic agents. Mountain building, it is formed from the force from the interior of Earth. So it is not an exogenic force, it is an endogenic activity. Question number 11. Consider the following statements regarding insolation. At the same latitude, insolation over the continent and oceans remains the same. The equatorial rainforest receives maximum insolation. How can we solve this question? When we studied insolation, what are the three major factors affecting insolation? Angle of sun rays, seasonal cycle, atmosphere which includes cloud cover. In equatorial rainforest, we know that the temperature is high, evaporation is high, cloud formation is high, precipitation is high. More cloud formation means less insolation. So we have the maximum insolation occurring at deserts, which is comparatively drier, subtropics and deserts, which makes the second statement wrong. First statement also, oceans will be having more cloud cover compared to the land. So first statement is also wrong. So the answer is D, neither 1 nor 2. It's a bit conceptual, but not a tough question. 12. Which of the following statements is or are correct regarding terrestrial radiation? Terrestrial radiation means when the sunlight comes, the radiation comes, Earth gets heated up, and when the Earth is ejecting back this radiation, we call it as terrestrial radiation. And the incoming waves are short waves, outgoing waves are long waves. Our atmosphere is almost transparent to the incoming short waves, and it absorbs and reflects back the outgoing long waves. So we'll see the insolation received by Earth is in long waves, forms and heats up its surface. The Earth, after being heated itself, becomes a radiating body, and it radiates the energy in the form of short wave. If you know the concept, this question is easily doable. So it's given interchanged and given. Incoming radiations are short waves, outgoing radiations are long waves. So both the statements are not correct. So the answer is C. (13) Consider the following statements regarding variation in the net heat budget at the Earth's surface. Some part of the Earth has surplus radiation balance while the other part has deficit. The surplus heat energy from the tropics is redistributed by atmospheric circulations only. Regions near the poles have always deficit heat budget. In NCERT, we are given a graph regarding the distribution of heat. You might have seen like this in the poles. In the polar region, these regions are marking the deficit regions. These regions are marking the surplus regions. Okay, regarding insolation, you might have heard this statement. The amount of insolation received by Earth as a system is constant, but its distribution is different. If the Earth is receiving 100 units of insolation this year, next year also Earth is going to get the 100 units of insolation, but it is distributed differently to the different regions. Towards the polar region, the insolation is going to be less. Towards the equatorial and tropical region, the insolation is going to be more. But the tropics and equatorial regions are not being overheated because the excess heat is passed over to the polar region. Okay, so see this. Some parts of the Earth has surplus, while other has deficit. Of course, these regions are having, these tropics and equatorial regions are having surplus. Poles are having deficit. The surplus heat energy from the tropics is redistributed by atmospheric circulations only. There are several methods in which this heat is being distributed. It is not only by the atmospheric circulation. Can you give me some other examples? Ocean currents is another example through which the heat is being distributed. So the second statement is wrong. The region near the poles have always deficit heat budget. That's also right. Poles are also always having deficit heat budget, which makes the second statement wrong. If you know the second statement is wrong, you can answer 1 and 3. Only one elimination is required.